Hello, my name is Federico Fiallo, a lecturer at the School of Architecture at the University of Queensland, and I'm here to introduce my paper Bio-Mediated Spaces, Biodesign and New Media as Spatial Interfaces. As biotechnology defines the new millennium and information technology increasingly merges the world through data, questions on sustainability arise. Questions on the possibility of action in architecture and how these trends can inform architecture and sustainable design. This research project, Bio-Mediated Spaces, formulates an in-depth investigation intersection of synthetic biology with architecture. Using an interdisciplinary methodology, research integrates architecture as a responsive interface through the use of biodesign, specifically bioreactors as a sustainable mechanism. The study develops a system in which bioreactors become a device to illustrate an additional sense of sustainable spaces. Beyond generative design strategies, where biological models solely focus on architectural formalism, the proposal combines biodesign, where life is intrinsically understood as information, with bioreactor as a vessel for enhancing information into space. Bio-mediated spaces combine the use of synthetic biology and responsive architecture to creatively promote the potential integration of biodesign as a social and ecological sustainable system. As a form of introduction, we need to understand that architecture is an environmental technology. Every building that we produce will affect the environment, the surrounding environment. But simultaneously, and this is always a second-degree element until nowadays, where sustainability is starting to become a discourse. However, architecture is also a medium of communication. It illustrates, sends messages as a spatial element. It illustrates through design a message that represents our society. In this new world, in this new era, where a new dimension and information is the digital connection between locations, people and activities, what kind of information, what kind of architecture connects both the message in design, through design, and also may seen as an environmental technology. Before, in previous years, we've seen the focus on sustainable design is on wind power and solar power environment technologies, and these are becoming slowly part of our landscapes and even part of our architectures. However, architecture has its own means of adapting to the ecosystem. In the beginning of the 20th century, where organic architecture, namely by Frank Lloyd Wright with this iconic house, the Falling Water residence, integrates itself in the environment. However, it doesn't interact with the environment. It adapts its colors, its forms, and creates something that makes a direct relation with the environment. However, there's still a gap between its building element and its environment, its surroundings. Nowadays, through biomimetics and works as the ones presented on morphoecologies by Michael Ansel, architecture may acquire forms and elements that convey a new space, sends that new message. However, it integrates formalisms through biomimetics, where its shape is derived from nature itself. But still, while it's far closer and even has an improved performance on its way of relating with the environment, how to control its building systems like air conditionings and energy efficiency elements through proposals on and evolutions on biomimetic design, all current architectural practices, from urban to interiors, are still based on Victorian technologies. And this means that still everything is still produced in a machine mode by using resources from the ecosystem. However, there are other modes that try to bridge this design and technology. One of those persons, among many, there's Neri Oxman, where in her architectural world, sustainability can be seen from a cultural and environmental stance, where a contemporary and broader portfolio of strategy can and aims to bring a design, aims to bridge design and technology. This threefold approach between biology, technology, and design could proliferate all fields which presently are constrained in energetics, efficiency, and recycling, and offer limited opportunities for designers. Sustainable strategy requires a common language to bridge nature and society, and this link may be found in bio-based design strategy, also known as biodesign. Biodesign is a powerful revolutionary technology, uniquely that place to transform and propel innovation. Its current studies increasingly engage in public art, design, and interaction exhibitions. However, fields of synthetic biology and bioinformatics and biotechnology are increasingly being part of these worlds. New approaches in how biology and biotech can design with eco and social and real-world contexts. This stance is already a powerful technological medium post-industrial and digital revolutions. This is not, the technology is new, however the principle is not as new as we thought. In the beginning, 1939, in the beginning of the beginnings of the 20th century, architect Friedrich Kiesler proposed a co-realistic strategy based on the biotechnique, where our relation to space and the architectural relation to space correlates with its environment through a biological, chemical, and electric stance, not through a formalistic modes. On a fast forward in this progression, there's John Fraser in 1995, where he combines all these worlds from a biological stance through sensors put in space that can read the levels of humidity and light and affect both the space itself and even can be affect on the environment, on the cybernetics, which we see on the right-hand side, that matrix of forms that is interacted by manipulating the cubes that are on the left. While you manipulate the cubes, all those forms interact, and those cubes are also, by being manipulated, are simultaneously responding to the environment themselves. Now, the big question arises, how can architecture as an environmental technology be progressive through the appropriation of biodesign? Biodesign is being spread through all design realms. However, architecture is becoming a later stance for different reasons. However, that's still the case. One way, and that's where the project addresses. Bio-Mediated Spaces strategy depends on the collaboration between biology and architecture through the use of synthetic biology and the production and enhancement of sustainable design. This has been applied also by Arab in a certain form, where in the Solar Leaf project by Arab, they used algae and coupled with algae and arrays of sensors and systems to become an infrastructure component of the architecture. So all those panels that you see, glass panels that you see on the facade, are actually filled with algae. And algae as a bioreactive facade. And as you see, the principle is very similar to a conventional facade. However, the panel itself contains algae, which is a form of bioreactors. And that element allows the production of energy and creates a sustainable source of energy as well as heating. In response to the innovation in biodesign, these bioreactor technologies just develop a chemical process that involves algae and allows the production of energy through biochemical active substances. The type of bioreactor used here is to grow small phototropic organisms such as algae and use light as the energy source through photosynthesis. Algae-based photobioreactors are chosen because they can be used flexible for power and heat generation, that they can be stored virtually with no energy loss. And this becomes a very integral part. And they are also applicable to different climates through these contained spaces. Biodesign and the new media as a spatial interface, the methodology seeks to identify the most applicable designs in synthetic biology by examining design cycles that define the behaviors of algae. So through the design cycles of algae and its proliferation, we can actually try to develop a system that optimizes the photobioreactors productions. Also from the solar leaf process, this is basically how the project works. So there's the bioreactor facade with the panels, which solely gets power from the sun. By its production, it creates energy, goes directly to the central energy, number 3, and can actually recover and create absorb CO2 from the air as well. So actually it also cleans the air pollutions, which none of the other technologies do, sustainable technologies. And the CO2 can create biomasses and biogas for heating purposes. So from then on you can have heating, warm water, and electricity, obviously. Through this same process, what the project, the integration of algae as an environmental interface, allows to become a highly efficient biochemical process by breaking down the biochemical conversion process into a core factor harnessed by the photobioreactors. This means that different uses of photobioreactors can be optimized and deployed into different situations. For example, there's a tubular photobioreactor, which you can see in a spatial configuration here by Geicon as a Christmas tree, but can also be deployed into different areas through the same tubular system. And this basically, if we analyze the proliferation of algae through the environment or simulate that proliferation of algae through the environment, we can actually focus on how to deploy these technologies with an efficient mode and actually becoming part both as a cleaning air production and creating a source of energy for all of us to use. The correlation between algae and high propagation factors intends to optimize the photobioreactors and their use as sensors for potential responsive systems. This is one of the main procedures in biodesign. So by simulating the propagation factor, we can actually deploy the algae and obtain higher degree of efficiency on the photobioreactors. These can all be attached to architecture and to different sources like roads systems, like we see that, and where generally we already have barriers that actually, instead of being just sound barriers, can be photobioreactors in form of panels, which can actually also clean the air and produce energy to be connected to our grid in a clean environmental system. This can be deployed in different manners, and this is part of our vision applications, where existing infrastructures that are part of our urban landscape can be actually uploaded with these systems without any extra element of infrastructure, so being kind of a parasitic structure to the existing urbanscape. And lately, also for architecture, not as a system, as a closed system where you design the building around that specific mode of sustainable architecture, but a system that can be attached to all architectures in form of facades elements. The significance of the proposal arises by the development of an array of biodesign studies which use local environmental reactive algae for applications across architecture. Additionally, the proposal will focus on innovative use of photobioreactors in the production and enhancement of a responsive architecture. Additionally, through its disciplinary nature, Bio-Mediated Spaces intends to promote a network to facilitate engagement with external institutes and industries. Companies like Autodesk hold explicit interest and resources in research and collaboration in these specific areas where biodesign and new media are integrated. At a larger scale, the overall benefit is to facilitate and initiate an end-user engagement between designers, artists, and scientists to develop biodesign techniques and further to promote architectural and environmental use of biotechnology. Thank you.